Maybe 20-25 years back, whenever I had to buy a train ticket, I used to travel maybe 20 kilometers, and I used to be in the line for almost 2 hours, and then I could get a ticket. And if the ticket is on waiting list, then maybe I need to go back again to check the real status. Now in 2026, I just need a couple of minutes just to book the ticket, and even if it is in waiting at any point of time, I can always check the status. Today, I'm going to talk about SMED, Single Minute Exchange of Time. And by the time this video will end, you will understand what exactly is SMED, why it is important for us, what are the key challenges that industry is facing with respect to that, what are the steps by which the organization can effectively implement it, and what are the benefits they can get out of it. So in Japan in 1960s, this particular concept came. And the idea was that how the assembly lines can be made more flexible, how they can be made as per the customer requirement so that the inventories can be low, the quality can be good, and the organization can cater to the requirement of the customer. And there is a very interesting terminology, OEE, Overall Equipment Effectiveness, which talks about availability, quantity, and the quality. Now assume that if in a particular shift we are producing 480 pieces, maybe one piece a minute, and if there is a changeover for 90 minutes, so it means straightforward we are losing the production of 90 minutes. When we are losing the production of 90 minutes, it means we are also losing 90 pieces also. And if the batches are big, there is a high possibility that it can also impact the quality. In a traditional setup, generally we say that why we are producing more, because the changeover time is more. And what it is resulting in? It is resulting in high inventory. And when we talk about high inventory, we are also saying that we are inflexible, we are costly, and it is very difficult to adapt to the customer changes. But if you see from the context of SMED, why it is needed. So the first and the foremost reason is that how we can minimize the downtime, how we can make sure that we can improve the productivity, how we can make sure that we can have a sustainable production in the organization, how we can make sure that the employee morale is high, and how we can make sure that whatever the changes which are coming in the industry with respect to the production planning, how the organization can adapt to that. So primarily to implement SMED, single minute exchange of die, there are two key concepts. The first one is talking about internal setup, and the other is talking about the external setup. When we talk about internal setup, so it means that if there is a molding machine, so there are certain things which are happening on the machine. So for example, we are unlocking the bolts, maybe you have to purge the old material, maybe we have to put the new material, maybe we have to preheat the new material in the same machine, maybe we have to tighten the nuts. So these are all the processes which are happening in the machine. Now the second is, we are talking with respect to the external setup. Now there can be certain things which can be done parallelly. Maybe we need to arrange the next mold before changing this mold. We have to arrange maybe some more employees who can help to change that. Maybe we have to do the preheating separately. Maybe we need some nuts and bolts rather than waiting or maybe looking for that when the setup starts. They are already with us. And there can be many things which can be a part of external setup. Now, how to do that? So there are 4 key steps to implement that. The first step is talking with respect to observing. When we talk about observing, the intent is that we should do a video shoot, and through that we should try to see that from the last OK piece to the first OK piece after the changeover, how much time it is taking, what are the different small activities which is happening. We have to shoot everything to understand that how things are happening. Then the second step is talking with respect to separating it. As I said earlier, with respect to internal and external, to identify that which things can be done internally and which things can be done externally. Then the third step, it is talking with respect to converting, that how we can convert the internal task to external task as much as possible. And the fourth and the last step is talking with respect to streamlining it, that what we can do to standardize everything, say for example the checklist, maybe the parallel work, and all those other activities. Now when we talk about SMED, single minute exchange of die, the idea is that how we can bring the die changeover time, say from 60, 90, 2 hours to just a single minute. When we say, it means less than 10 minutes. And the main objective is that how we can become as much flexible as possible. And once the organization effectively implements that, what are the benefits they can get? The first thing is the productivity improves, because if we are losing say 90 minutes earlier, so it means 90 pieces, and if it is reducing say to 20 minutes, so it means we are losing only 20 pieces. So the productivity is improving, the inventory level is going down, because now we know that we can change over not once but 2 to 3 times in a day, because it is only 20 minutes. So the inventory level is going down, the overall cost of production goes down. And then certainly the employee morale improves, because they are less fatigued and they feel much more confident and comfortable while doing the changeover. Now, many times it happens that whenever SMED is implemented in an organization, sometimes it is successful, but many times it is not successful. What can be the possible reason? The first and the foremost reason is that we are not involving the operators who are working on the machines. So if they are not involved, there is a high possibility that after a while it may fail. Many a time it happens that we think that we understand everything, we are not shooting each and everything to understand that what are the different steps which are happening while the changeover is happening. That can also create a barrier. Many a times we think that we are just doing it because there is a customer pressure. We are not doing it because we want to improve our productivity and quality. And when we are just doing it to show off, then it does not stay for a longer time. Now to talk about some of the key industry challenges. The single most important challenge is that if we are considering it as a one-off activity and we are not including in the overall gamut of everything, because when we are implementing SMED, so it means we are not only implementing SMED, we also need to see the other things which are happening in the organization, like 5S, quality circle, Kaizen, continuous improvement, total employee employment, production planning, and all those things when they are done together, then there is a possibility that we can make SMED successful in the organization. Otherwise, it can just become a one-off activity. So if I do a summary, I talk about what exactly SMED all about. Then I talk about the two things about internal and external. Then I talk about the 4 key steps by which it can be implemented. I also talk about why SMED needs to be implemented in the organization and what are the key challenges that the industry is facing. My next video will be talking about a clear-cut example that how we can identify the internal and external tasks and how we can convert the internal task to an external so that we can reduce the overall time for the exchange of ties. Well, regularly I'm getting a lot of feedback from your side and they're helping me to understand your expectations. So please do continue that. In case you want to understand a little bit more about this particular video, you'll find a link below. If you click that, you'll find a blog there. There you find this information in much more detail. And in case you are liking these kind of blogs and videos, you can always share with your friends and colleagues, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel and my website bhavyamangla.com. Very recently I published a book related to supply chain management. In case you want to understand more about it, you can find a link below. You can click there and you can find more information about that. Thank you.